94% of Forsa school secretaries have voted for industrial action to demand equal pay for work of equal value, but the majority are employed by individual school boards of management on precarious low-paid contracts. They are obliged to sign on in the summer holidays and do not get sick pay or pensions, and get paid an average of £12,000 just plus above that. They are paid through the capitation grant schemes to schools. These workers, it's not just about pay, Minister, and a lot of your statement is on that. They want to be directly employed by the state, and rightly so. They want to have a pension. They want to be able to get paid during school holidays. They want to get paid sick pay. And you know, this has been an issue since 1978. It's not an issue that suddenly sprung up in front of you or your government. You said yourself that you've met school secretaries in your area, you know them, you know their experiences, you know what they're doing. So I really commend Forsa for taking up the issue and organising the secretaries in this sector. 94% of Forsa school secretaries have voted for industrial action to demand equal pay for work of equal value. And that's a maxim that I always stood up for when I was a shop steward in my job in CWU in An Post, and it's one I always stand by now. And it's a basic principle for equal pay for work of equal value. The Work to Rule action has withdrawn school secretaries from work on public service systems and databases on the basis that because they are not paid or recognised as public servants, they will refuse to carry out the functions of public servants. In a letter sent to your department on Monday, Mr Pike, he's the Forsa educational organiser, advised that because there have been no discernible efforts made to resolve the underlying issues, Forsa would shortly need to consider escalating the industrial action and to extend the industrial action to include another 150 schools where secretaries have joined the union over the past few weeks. So because of the stance the secretaries have taken to date, more secretaries are joining the union and willing to take a stance. So I'd encourage every school secretary to join Forsa to get their rights represented. He went on to say, "We believe that it should not be necessary to take these measures. It is not normal practice for both parties. It is normal practice for both parties to use the services of the WRC and see no reason why the Department should refuse to participate in WRC conciliation." I agree, and it appears that the majority of deputies in this chamber and in the Dáil agree with that as well. Mr Pike has asked the Department for a response by close of business today. That's the deadline that was given. If no response or negative response, or there is a negative response, further industrial action will have to be served at schools on schools early next week. So they're moving quite quickly to call industrial action in schools next week. He said the Department has now had time to analyse the return forms from their survey of school principals, and that's why I asked the closing date, but I've heard it was 2 weeks ago. And if the Department refuses to cooperate with the WRC, the Department is aware of the likelihood of the possible escalation of the industrial action. Now, just my last point really is the point that you made, Minister, that standard practice in industrial relations procedure would be for any action to be suspended once it is agreed to refer a dispute to the WRC. That's not my understanding. My understanding is that more commonly the action would be stood down in the event that progress was made at the WRC. Disputes where low-level industrial action is ongoing are frequently referred to the WRC. So that's not a principle that you can. It's wrong. And then the other point you make, I would urge Forsa to call off industrial action to allow space for that process to take place. If Forsa and the Secretaries concede to this request, school secretaries know, Minister, from experience, that they would just be drawn back into a process with no conclusion in sight. They want to get this dealt with. They want to go into 2020 knowing that they are direct employees of the state. And that's their bottom line, and I fully agree with them and fully back them on it.